Namaskar. So today I am going to explain you about the basic foundation of yoga as a therapy. Now when we talk about therapy means it is something or it is a modality which helps you to regain the health which you have already lost because of some disease. And when we talk about yoga, it talks about the mind, it talks about the consciousness. So people have started giving respect to the mind and its aspects like health and disease recently, because psychosomatic conditions were not studied in detail some 20 years back, but now people have understood it. But yoga from thousands of years, it is giving a lot of importance to the psychosomatic conditions. Long back, during the time of Maharishi Vasishtha, who is also a very revered guru of Lord Ram, he talks about vyadhis, he talks about ailments or diseases. And in his explanation of Nirvana Prakarana of Yoga Vasishtha, he talks about vyadhis, and these vyadhis are of two types: adhija vyadhis and anadhija vyadhis. Now this adhija vyadhis, basically it is a disease which is originated because of the involvement of the mind, and anadhija vyadhis are the vyadhis or the diseases which one gets because of the involvement of other factors other than the mind, like acute infections or any surgical cases, trauma, accidents or anything. But we have to understand how important is this mind. People may say that every disease originates because of some bacteria or virus. It is right up to some extent. But when we talk about anadhija vyadhis, where we are talking about the non-medical part as the origin of the disease. So once you are having an infection, once you have a disease, automatically psychologically also you are down. So automatically from that anadhija vyadhis you come under the adhija vyadhis. So your mind is a very important factor for your health, and you have to give lot of importance to your mind when it comes to the health. So adhija vyadhis are the vyadhis which needs to be addressed. So adhija vyadhis are again divided into sara and samanya. So sara is the karmic diseases and samanya is your psychosomatic conditions. But if we see the whole concept, whenever you are having a disease at your annamaya kosha level, at your physical body, that disease can be anything. That disease can be hypertension, it can be any type of disease, it can be heart conditions, it can be diabetes or anything. But here, because of involvement of the mind, you will see the whole personality of a person is disturbed. So when you are under continuous stress, suppose something happens in your office or in your home, you come across the stress, definitely. And that stress is for a very long time or for a very short time, anything it can be. Suppose if it is for a very short time, so naturally you will be all right after some time. But if it stays with you for a very long time, then that same stage becomes a psychic stage of disease. And when that continues for few months to years, then it becomes a psychosomatic condition like hypertension and other conditions. And when still you continue to suppress it, then it is a somatic condition where a particular organ is affected. An organic stage, there is a complete failure of that organ to make it survive. So when all these things can happen, so modern yoga therapy basically talks about three very important basic principles, which is laid down by Swami Kolyanand. Now Swami Kalyananji, what he says, and you just see how you can say that if the first yoga therapist on the planet is your Maharishi Vasishtha, so the application of that yoga therapy was first understood and implemented by Swami Kalyananji. So for him, the main first principle is cultivation of correct psychological attitude. So again, Adija Vyadis. Because if your psychological attitude is not right, if you are not constructive, if you are not practicing yamas and niyamas, naturally you are going to accumulate a lot of stress in your life. So you will be under the influence of Adija Vyadis. And because of Adija Vyadis, and because of psychosomatic conditions or somatic conditions, you know what will happen to your muscles and glands. So there is a disturbance in the neuromuscular and neuroglandular system. You will see there is an increase in the hormones which are present in the stress. Your muscles are not relaxed. There is a vasoconstriction completely. So there is no proper reconditioning between the muscular system and the glandular system. And more cortisol and such other secretions are secreted. And then he talks about the correct food and proper functioning of the right functioning of the eliminatory channels. Now both the philosophies, they work together actually, because if you have any disease, it has to have its connection at your Manomaya Kosha. At the level of Manomaya Kosha, you will be entering the psychic stage of disease, and once you don't give more time to that or don't treat it, then your Pranamaya Kosha is also disturbed and its impact is seen at Annamaya Kosha also. So every disease originates in the mind, and mind plays a major role for your health. If you practice Yam Niyam, you can easily work at the level of your mind or Manomaya Kosha. Along with this, because if deep-rooted suppressed pent-up emotions are there and a lot of karmic suppressions are there, so naturally only these things will not help. So in that case, you will have to practice the meditations on your chakras, because chakras are the centers where these impressions or these karmic impressions are present, these samskaras are present. So when you start practicing chakra meditation, naturally all these things, cleansing starts happening, and you are free from all the karmic debts of your life. So when you start working at the Manomaya Kosha level along with Laya Yoga and Nada Yoga, which we teach exactly what is explained in the traditional way of yoga with the proper swar, chand, tal, everything. And then when this starts working properly, automatically you will see there is a balance at your Pranamaya Kosha and Annamaya Kosha. Now if you want your Pranamaya Kosha to be balanced, then you have to see that your Vijnanamaya Kosha also is balanced. Because if your intellect is not balanced, naturally there is a chance that your mind will definitely run behind the cravings, and it will try to do the things which normally is not good for the mind, for the body. For example, a diabetic will have a craving to have more sugar, but we all know that sugar is very dangerous for diabetes mellitus. So when you nourish your intellect properly, when all the kleshas are removed, means avidya, asmita, raga, dvesh, abhinivesh is removed, then you are free from all the problems of the life. There is complete practice of abhyas and vairagya, complete practice and non-attachment. When you are in that state, automatically most of the time you never suffer in the life. You are in that state. But if you just practice also, little also if you practice, automatically you will see there is an improvement at your consciousness level, and you start improving your body also physically, mind also, and spiritually also you grow. So we can say that yoga is a science which teaches your body to perform, mind to absorb, and soul to realize the ultimate self. So it is very important to understand the actual concepts of yoga therapy. If you want to understand what is the actual yoga therapy, then you will understand how to practice it. And it is not a dilution, it is only yoga. This is not part of somebody. Okay, yoga is a part of naturopathy or siddha or homeopathy or any Indian system medicine. See, everybody came after nature. And people, those who gave this knowledge, they were yogis first. So yoga, according to me, stands first. It is the most ancient, and whatever we see is afterwards. So like that, you can say that naturopathy is the oldest system because first nature came, then only everything came out. So yoga and naturopathy remains the oldest systems on the planet, and that is the reason they are the most powerful systems on the planet. There is a proper integration, same principles, everything same. So I hope that this video will give you the information about the therapy, the basis of yoga therapy, and if you have any doubts, you can definitely contact me. I will try to help you out, and stay connected for more informative videos on yoga. Namaskar.